Now, I won't tell you about the Uccisar castle or the view from the top of the hill, because we expected those to be stunning, and so they were. What we didn't expect.
Bring your imagination to life with inspiring stories of an incredible and very real world.
When you travel, you never know how many surprises will come your way. New things will happen, and you will find yourself in situations you haven't been in before, or you might meet someone completely by chance. And it'll be yours to decide if you're going to be open to the potential goodness of those experiences, and if you're going to trust that crossing a comfort zone or being willing to change your plans might actually leave you richer. Or you might choose to stay within your comfort zones as much as possible and still enjoy your trip, but not really give yourself a chance to experience more. In Cappadocia, Turkey, I chose to say yes to new experiences and did things I wouldn't necessarily normally do, in ways big and small. Let me tell you about a time I did it that will forever change the definition of dream and reality for me. Because in Cappadocia, my friends and I met someone who taught us to trust that sometimes what seems too good to be true can actually be true. On the surface, the rocky landscape of Cappadocia looks wonderfully beige and orange. One evening, I was lucky to sit on one of those rocks, on a borrowed carpet, drink wine recommended by the best Turkish sommeliers, and watch the sunset together with my friends. Now, I didn't plan any of that. Are you curious how I landed there? Believe it or not, it all started with one very innocent question. Can we drink coffee here? First, you have to imagine us, a group of 7, as we're climbing a hill in the Turkish town of Uccisar. Our goal is to reach the castle that's on top of the hill. It's the highest point in the region and the only one from where you can get a view of all of the most prominent landmarks of Cappadocia, of its towns, valleys, and mountains. As we're climbing one of them, the air is warm and there's hardly any breeze. September in Turkey definitely feels like the middle of summer. It's already been a long day and our legs are tired, but we don't want to give up just yet. On the one hand, I know that the view from the very top of the hill is going to be the best reward. The strange rocky formations that Cappadocia is known for, well, they look photoshopped from ground level, and I couldn't be more curious how they're going to look from above. But on the other hand, I'm sweaty and thirsty, and all I really want is a break, right now and right here. Suddenly, I see a place that catches my attention. It's tucked under a big rock and looks like something between a cafe and a lookout point. I see a row of colorful cushions, all facing the vast rocky landscape, and a strange wooden structure with swings and flowers attached to it. The place doesn't seem to have a bar, but I am tempted. I step off the main trail and run up to the man sitting by the wooden swings. I'm not even sure if he works there, but he's the only person I can see, so I decided to try my luck. Hi! Do you know if my friends and I can drink coffee here? These are the magic words, but I'm still about to learn that. Do you know if my friends and I can drink coffee here? No, wait! Let's climb the hill first! My friend shouts after me, noticing where I was. Oh well, he knows about my healthy addiction to caffeine. I love coffee, and Turkish coffee is a real treat. The stranger replies with a giant smile, though. Of course you can have coffee here. Where are you guys from? He asks and waves to my friend. We're from Poland. This is actually our first day in Cappadocia, and we're on our way to see the castle. I say, suddenly feeling completely at ease, too. This is your first day? Come on, you should make it a little special. Why don't you go see the castle while it's still bright and come back here later to have coffee when the sun is setting? I signal a thumb up to my friend. Or, I could also have some wine for you. You won't be able to drink it here in the cafe though, because I don't have an alcohol license, but if you went a little farther away, there, on that rock you see over there, that would be an even better lookout for the sunset. My new friend, the cafe owner, is clearly on a roll. Wait, are you serious? That would be amazing. I say the first thing that escapes my mouth because I'm just genuinely surprised anyone would welcome us that way after quite literally 3 minutes of conversation. I tell my friends about the invitation we got. How would you feel about a coffee and wine here after we're back from the castle? This guy told me he actually rents out to people that hollow rock you see there. It's like an Airbnb in the wild. And we can sit on top of it and watch the sunset from there. And he's gonna give us paper cups for the wine, and we can borrow his deck chair too, and some carpet he has to sit on the ground. And you know what my friends said? They said, okay, that sounds a bit too good to be true. But we'll be coming back through here anyway, so we might as well check it out. So that was the verdict. We're going to see what happens. Now, I won't tell you about the Uchisara castle or the view from the top of the hill, because we expected those to be stunning, and so they were. What we didn't expect was that our new super host, the owner of the quirky cafe tucked under a rock, was about to become a fairy godmother, should I say godfather, to us. It turned out that he once worked as a professional sommelier, which is how he had access to wine that's only served in the best restaurants and hotels in Turkey. He did supply us with a bottle of it and some cups, and right after that he commanded 2 of my friends to take a huge, heavy carpet from its usual spot in the middle of that open-air cafe and carry it all the way to the flat rock that was going to be our vantage point to see the sunset. And frankly, I wouldn't be surprised if that old carpet would fly once all the dust was blown of it.
That's why he has many secrets.
Our new fairy godfather, as we quickly realized we should be calling him, organized an impromptu photo shoot for us and even called his friend who, as it happens, has a restaurant nearby to drive up on a scooter and bring warm food for those of us who got hungry. But we were about to learn that his hospitality didn't end just there. You can picture my friends and I as we're sitting at our designated spot on our designated carpet, waiting for the sun to go to sleep and hide behind the rocks. And you know how those moments are. You feel with every fiber of your body that you're experiencing something one of a kind. And you're afraid to even blink in case that blinking makes the magic disappear. No one wanted to say this out loud, so we sat in silence for a while after that fiery spectacle on the sky was over. Finally, someone uttered that unavoidable question. Should we go home now? By the time we were ready to head back to our town, that was the historical Gureme, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, located 5 kilometers away from Uchisar. All the public buses had already stopped running a long time ago. So we were faced with a choice between walking those 5 kilometers along the main road and in the dark, or praying that we would find any sort of a village taxi service or someone ready to take in 7 hitchhikers. Guess who provided the magic pumpkin for us that turned into a carriage? And I hope, by the way, that you can forgive me all the Cinderella references after Fairy Godfather. They just keep coming and coming. Our new friend, the cafe owner, organized transport for us. Seeing our group debating over what we should do to get home before the morning, he simply pulled out his phone with God knows how many contacts in the address book, and he called his uncle, who, as he said, has a minivan. As they do, right? When we were waiting for this private taxi, Still talking with our fairy godfather and thanking him for everything he did for us to make our first evening in Cappadocia feel like a dream, he told us about his other uncle. And that other uncle, for a change, owns an actual van. See, our fairy godfather was convinced that if we only had 3 days in Cappadocia, then we simply had to see as much as possible. And you're certainly not going to have much luck with that if you're going to rely on public buses, he told us. My uncle with a van could take you on a trip tomorrow, he said. And he also explained to us what gems of Cappadocia we could discover in just 1 day if we didn't waste time on public transport. Standing in a close circle, my friends and I all looked at one another. We thanked our fairy godfather for the suggestion and said that we would speak soon. That night, my friends and I were still pondering that offer that we got. All the uncertainties and fears had come to the fore, and we were thinking of the problem with too good to be true again. Can we really trust that guy? Each of us secretly thought, as we made jokes about whether anybody was going to try and sell our kidneys on the Turkish black market. Fortunately, the fear that we could miss something special turned out to be stronger. Plus, since we're a group, it would be quite difficult to kidnap us, someone said. And that's how we decided to send a WhatsApp message to our fairy godfather. He didn't take long to reply. The next morning, the uncle with a van, a zestful, aged man who did not speak a word of English, drove up to pick us up. He came in a snazzy 8-person minibus, which then, but only after signing an official contract with our fairy godfather, so surprise, took us for a day trip to all the most beautiful places in Cappadocia. From Nargolu, the pomegranate lake, to the Selime monastery that's all cut in rock. So now you see how this one question, can we drink coffee here, was really like a beginning of a test for us. Are we going to trust that saying yes to things and changing our plans can actually leave us richer? Are we going to be open to all the goodness there is? Or are we going to say, nah, that's too good to be true, and just walk away? So this is what I want to remember for all my future travels. To always at least give myself the opportunity to be surprised. You never know what's going to happen if you just say yes. And I hope this story will help you remember that too.
Thank you for joining us on another audio adventure right here at Wandertale. Subscribe to our channel to stay tuned for more stories from around the world and share tales with the open-minded, the brave, and the curious.